Hey, what's up, guys? It is the HPR Chronicles Podcast with Sir Shakur and Sir Smith. If you're joining us for the first time, Smith is a veteran of the Army Reserves, currently works for the VA. I'm a film and television director, producer, writer, and together we are the HPR Chronicles Podcast with Shakur and Smith. We love talking about these subjects, and we have a slogan where we're not about pro any race, we're just pro truth. If the truth offends you, we're sorry, not
sorry.
That's what we say.
Yeah.
All right. So don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, ISNT Group Digital. Hit that notification button and follow us on social media. And I always say thank you for listening where you get your podcasts. We are virtually everywhere in the podcast world. Check us out. Listen on your drive home. Listen on your drive on the way to work in the mornings. If you like what we went to, send us some likes and some thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. The past few weeks, we've been kind of covering what's been going on with the insurrection and the inauguration and all that kind of stuff. I know you guys have been hearing murmurs about QAnon, and I've always wanted to tackle this subject. I think you guys have heard me saying past shows that one of the things I like about our show is that I even get to learn new things. You know what I mean? Which is really, really cool. So today we're going to finally talk about QAnon. We had planned to talk about this a few weeks ago, but again, so many things came up. We decided to go another way. But I think it's perfect timing to talk about QAnon, Smith. And before we even jump into it, I've been watching these impeachment proceedings that's been going on, and I'm gonna say what I heard one of the commentators say. If you get fired from Best Buy and you steal a TV on the way out, you're still gonna get punished for it. You know what I'm saying? So yep. He got fired as the president, caused an insurrection on the way out, and he should get punished for it. Just because he's gone now doesn't mean, he's gone now and everything is fine, let's just forget about it, and which is what the Republicans are trying to do right now. I know this is off topic, but I just wanted to cover, not all of them, but most of them. I just wanted to cover it.
Most of them. Just want the same.
Yeah, and just say that real quick. It's absolutely ridiculous and insane. And I hope it's not another situation where Trump is going to get away with this. People actually died, and Trump should definitely pay the price in some form or fashion for his role in that insurrection. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say before we start the Q&A show. Go ahead. Yeah.
You're right. Even though, he lost the presidency, he's out of office. The point is not about a vendetta by the Democrats or anything like that. He fired up a crowd of people to march and to break, to go into the Capitol. Mm-hmm. That type of behavior of a president should not be allowed. Mm-hmm. So by the Republicans thinking to not want to, probably want to acquit him and not even do the impeachment, they're not realizing that they're setting a precedent for a later time if another president was to try and do something similar. So
right,
just wanted to
exactly, which we kind of talked about before. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. To me, guys, it's all the Republicans making excuses because they're afraid to lose their constituents in their states and districts and stuff like that, because their constituents still follow Trump. And that's really all it's about. If you understand politics, you would understand that that's the only reason why they're going against him being impeached. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, Smith, let's get into it. You want me to jump it off? Yeah, so go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I'm basically going to talk about where and how did QAnon start. I'm going to talk about what is QAnon, what is the QAnon conspiracy theory, who is Q, and what role did they play in the insurrection at the Capitol, and
Okay.
then Smith and I will give our opinions on everything that I'm covering. And this source is from the Wall Street Journal, and I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want to go back over it. But I went through a few different sources, Smith.
hmm
The BBC had a pretty good thing, and
Yeah, I got that one.
yeah, Wikipedia did. But I really like the way the Wall Street Journal broke it all down. So I'm gonna
Okay.
present it to the audience, and then we'll jump into it. The funny thing about it is, when I first heard about this wacko group, or whatever you want to call them, I kind of laughed, and one of the reasons I laughed is because I'm in the entertainment industry, which is one of the industries that they're implicating in their whole conspiracy. So me
Yep.
being on the inside of entertainment, I just thought it was hilarious what they're saying the entertainers are actually doing. It's all a bunch of malarkey, and I'm glad that not everyone in the U.S. believes this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's kind of get into it, guys. So where and how did QAnon start? Let's just tackle that first. You know what I mean? Oh, well, you know what? Before we do that, let's talk about what is QAnon. So QAnon is a
Yeah.
far right wing, loosely organized network and community of believers who embrace a range of unsubstantiated beliefs. These views center on the idea that a cabal of Satan worshiping pedophiles, mainly consisting of what they see as elitists, Democrats, politicians, journalists, entertainment moguls, and other institutional figures, have long controlled much of the so called deep state government, which they say sought to undermine Mr. Trump, mostly with aid of media and entertainment outlets. So that's what QAnon actually is. Stop me at any time, Smith.
Okay.
Where and how did QAnon start? In October 2017, a message on the anonymous online messaging board 4chan attributed to Q Clearance Patriot were posted and signed by a user identified as Q, referencing the Energy Department's highest level of security clearance for nuclear weapons, or Q clearance. These cryptic messages would later be referred to as Q drops or breadcrumbs, purportedly clandestine code that often made their way into pro-Trump slogans and messages and were repeated by followers. The previous year, a man armed with an assault-style rifle fired one or more shots inside Kome Ping Pong, a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant. Comet Ping Pong,
Remember that?
a Washington, D.C.
Comment.
pizza restaurant, and was later arrested. Before the shooting, Trump supporters and white supremacists on social media spread a false conspiracy theory asserting that Hillary Clinton and her former campaign chairman, John Podesta, ran a child sex ring in the basements of a pizzeria. Lord have mercy. Comet Ping Pong had no basement. The shooting has since been considered a precursor to QAnon, which is unbelievable. These idiots actually thought they had a child ring in the basement of this pizzeria. And you know what? Before I go further, you know, the funny thing about the internet, and we kind of touched on this on a show a couple of weeks ago, how powerful the internet could be.
Yeah.
These days, the internet is so powerful that someone can just throw something on there and have everyone believe it as if it's true. I mean, and the
Yeah.
older generation, Smith, is so funny. Like my aunts and uncles and stuff who are now on the internet, they literally believe everything they see on there. They'll just see something. Oh, did you see this? And they think it's true because it's on the internet, not realizing anyone can just throw up a post and any wacko could just start some conspiracy theory and get people to start following it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, again, when
Especially
the
no,
go,
just especially Facebook. You know, that's
yeah,
probably the bigger one, and Twitter, where you can just post something, and then if you can link it to something else, people automatically start to assume like, oh, since this links to something, it's got to be real. You know what
right,
I mean? Where it's
exactly,
just a video of someone else. Like, you know, a good example is right now we could start making up something, pass it along. People, you know,
mm-hmm.
both of us, we send it to friends. They, you know, repost, retweet, however we put it out there. You get enough people to do that, it
Yeah,
now all of a sudden becomes
yeah, it becomes
this,
viral.
you know, not on viral, and people just believe it because
Yeah,
over, you know, tens of thousands, you know, hundreds of thousands to millions of people will share it, and all of a sudden now they believe it's true.
right. It's absolutely
Right.
insane, man. It's absolutely insane, guys. So what is the QAnon conspiracy theory? Let's touch on that real quick. QAnon conspiracy theory alleges that there is a battle between good and evil in which the Republican Mr. Trump is allied with the former. QAnon followers are awaiting two major events: the storm and the great awakening. The storm is the mass arrest of people in high power positions who will face a long awaited reckoning. The Great Awakening involves a single event in which everyone will attain the epiphany that QAnon theory was accurate the whole time. This realization will allow society to enter an age of utopia. So that's what the conspiracy theory is, guys.
And I gotta say,
Unbelievable.
and as I'm reading different things out there for the last, you know,
Mm-hmm.
since Biden's taken office,
Yeah.
I mean, people still were prepared for, were thinking that Biden was going to get arrested on the
Yeah.
day of the inauguration. So there's a lot of QAnon people who are like confused because they're like, wait a minute, he was supposed to be arrested. Trump is supposed to be in office, you know.
Right.
So,
It's
uh,
ridiculous, man. So guys,
and
who is
oh, I just want to. I even have a family member who believes this stuff. I hate to say it,
wow.
but yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's mom, my ex-wife believes this crap. It's unbelievable. So who is Q? Followers believe that Q is a high-ranking government insider, presumably with a military or intelligence background, committed to exposing the hidden truth of what they see as an international bureaucracy scheming against Mr. Trump and his supporters. Some followers believe that Q often sends coded signals about his or her existence using the number 17, the letter Q's placement in the alphabet. Online posts surrounding QAnon conspiracy theories have often described Q as a patriot or a saint. Wow. Wow.
Saint,
Yeah,
pretty big.
a patriot or a saint.
Yeah, and
So,
you're still going through what or the who's Q, right?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that was the one little part of it. Uh, then the next thing is, what role did QAnon and its adherents play in storming of the Capitol? And
So before we get to that, let
okay,
me say that what's interesting because you had mentioned like one of their biggest things when they first came out, they were, you know, believing, and for the weird, you know, the crazy thing to me is all the stuff that they believe and think are happening, it's pretty much Democrats
mm-hmm,
and media. I mean, and of course the entertainment because they don't like celebrities unless the celebrity speaks out for their cause or whatever.
mm-hmm,
But they also to one thing I noticed over the years, they seem to have attached themselves. So now they're trying, or they've been attaching themselves to other activist causes like the anti-vaccine
mm-hmm.
and the anti-child trafficking, which these are things that people should be concerned and think about. But when they get lumped in with the QAnon, it kind of lessens their voice. It kind of,
Right.
because of the fact that there's such a fringe. Um, strange group of people and what they're believing. Like
Right.
COVID, they sure as heck didn't believe that COVID was is a real thing, and I think they still are.
Don't believe it, huh?
Thinking that too. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I read, a follower was accused of murdering a mafia boss in New York. So this says last year, but this article was done. Sorry. So 2020. So in 2020, sometime someone tried to murder a mafia boss. And then someone was also arrested in April of last year for threatening to kill Biden, Joe Biden Jr. So these people are very, they're out there, and they're not just out there on the fringes. There is that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a QAnon supporter from Georgia. So you gotta, it's now.
Didn't she become a senator or something, or congresswoman?
Yeah, she's either the House or the Senate. Can't remember exactly which one, but she's the one who was going to on day one put out the impeachment papers on Joe Biden.
Okay.
I'm sure you remember.
Yeah.
So that's her.
So she's a cute. Oh, okay, interesting. Because I know of her, but I forget her name and what she looks like and stuff. You know what I mean? Wow, that's interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to segue into what role did QAnon play in the storming of the Capitol. So QAnon and its adherents were instrumental in Mr. Trump's drive to overturn the November election, which he lost decisively. In November, Sidney Powell, a former federal prosecutor who was then representing Mr. Trump, said on Fox Business that she would release the Kraken. Yeah, release the Kraken, a reference to a powerful mythical beast, by making public evidence of widespread voter fraud. Neither Mrs. Powell nor any of Trump's supporters have done so, but QAnon supporters adopted the phrase as a rallying cry. QAnon apparel was prevalent throughout the crowd at the Capitol and surrounding it. During the storming of the Capitol, one of the first people up the stairs leading to the Senate chambers was a man who wore a QAnon t-shirt. You know what I mean? And I don't know if everybody remembers, but there was the one guy who was amongst the people that breached the Capitol, the one that had the paint on his face and wearing the horns and all that. You remember?
The Q shaman?
Yeah, the Q shaman. Yeah. Let's talk about him real quick. His name is Jake Angeli. QAnon adherent Jacob Anthony Chansley, also known as Jake Angeli, was among the most visible members of the throng that breached the Capitol, reaching the Senate chamber and briefly occupying the seat just vacated by Vice President Mike Pence, according to photographs taken at the scene. Mr. Chansley was shirtless and wearing his trademark fur hat and bison horns, his tattoos on display. An Arizona native, Mr. Chansley has espoused QAnon views outside the Arizona Capitol since at least 2019, according to the Arizona Republic newspaper. He has often carried a battered sign reading, "Q sent me." The snowball has been rolling and it's only getting bigger, Mr. Chansley told the newspaper in February outside of Trump's rally in Phoenix. "We're the mainstream now." This is what he said. Mr. Chansley was arrested on January 9th on federal charges connected to breaking into the Capitol building. The Capitol Police investigator noted in court documents that after viewing news media photographs of the attack on the Capitol, he identified Mr. Chansley in part based on his unique attire and extensive tattoos. Wow. So, Smith, what do we think about these clowns? I wanted to present it to the audience first so they know who exactly they are and how it started. The conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I think okay, so they need to be put under and labeled as a domestic
terrorist group,
a potential terrorist group, because I mean, people, like you said, I'm looking at this at a picture where it has several people who had stormed, and one guy who they have him clearly talking to the Capitol Police, and he's got the big Q shirt, or a shirt with the big Q on it. And the fact that, I know Proud Boys was involved. It seemed like QAnon, they, shared some things about, being there for the insurrection. It does need to somehow be stopped. I just don't know, how do you convince people who were easily convinced, like someone just got on a message board and basically said that they were in the government, that they have a secret clearance. I mean, not too many people are going to brag about that and put that out there, but I get, so I'm really curious, like how deeply this goes. I do know when in my research, I saw that there was one gentleman, no, there's two gentlemen, I think they're in Australia, who were, in the beginning, who were like when they first started in October, November of 2017, they were the ones who were running the 8 channel or whatever, 4chan. And then there was another guy, he was involved, but then those two, like the father and son, are on one side, and then this other guy's on another, and they don't really get along. But anyway, my point is, what you're asking is, it's a scary group because what they're believing could easily have been proven, wrong. Like the pizza place with no basement, but yet you think someone's doing something in a basement that's not there.
Right.
That's
right.
And to go the extreme of shooting, inside the place, when if you're trying to figure it out, he could have gone in there and maybe had asked,
right. Hey, is there a basement here? Sir, no, we don't. You know what I mean? Right. But then people like that, they probably don't believe you anyway. I mean, what if they would have said, well, we don't believe you. Can we check? How am I going to let a stranger check my store to see if there's a basement there or not? I mean, I'm just going to say, listen, bro, you don't have to believe me or not. I'm telling you, there's no basement here. And for whatever reason you asking, I don't know. Would you like a pizza? You know what I'm saying?
Do you want a slice?
Right. Do you want a slice? You know what I mean? That's probably what I would have said. It's like, come on, people. And, as far as the entertainment industry goes, guys, I've been in the entertainment industry for a long time. I went to film school in 1991. And I mean, I've hung out, and I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just letting you guys know how false this crap is. I've hung out with the likes of Oprah and Quincy Jones to Michael Bay and I mean, I can go on and on and on. Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Bruce Willis. I mean, I can go on and on and on, guys. And I can reassure you that I am in entertainment, and it's not true. None of my peers, none of my colleagues, even producers and or actors and actors that I'm associated with, none of them do not by no means involve themselves in any child trafficking, sex ring, pedophilia, drinking blood, whatever this conspiracy crap is these clowns are spouting on these internet sites. I can reassure you that it's not true. You know what I mean? I remember I went to a party one time that Adam Sandler threw, and everybody and their mama was there, including Tom Cruise. And I mean, and everybody just chilling, skating, bowling, just hanging out.
Yeah.
There were no kids hidden in closets that no one was drinking blood from and selling off on the side while other people were doing other stuff. Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on.
But unfortunately, like you said, the group of people, like I mentioned earlier, so they believe it's top Democrats, including Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George Soros. Those three are always thrown around. And then the entertainment, they've got Oprah Winfrey, like you had mentioned, Tom Hanks, Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
And
it's not true.
And then even religious figures like Pope Francis, like, huh? And the Dalai Lama.
Like what?
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that
members
either.
Kill and eat their victims in order to extract a life-extending chemical from
that's another part.
The one thing that does make me feel weird about even doing this podcast about them is feels like I'm prepping them up, but we're just trying to have people aware.
Yeah, we're basically shedding light on who they are. Yeah, and the false conspiracy theories, and just telling people to wake up, guys. It's not true, and don't believe everything you hear on the internet. That's all we're trying to do is like spread truth. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And kind of dispel some of the myths behind these conspiracy theories. Because I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. You almost sit here and you go, you can't make this stuff up. It sounds like a movie, right? Like
sounds like a movie.
that's
Yeah.
like a movie.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
In
people.
fact,
Like, really? This is what you guys believe? Really? Unbelievable,
yeah.
man.
And it's
Unbelievable.
just, and I got to say, it crosses ages, um,
Mm-hmm.
ethnicities, all that. It's not like just a bunch of white people only believe it, or something like that. It's like it just whatever their mentality and what they're watching, reading on a regular basis has
Mm-hmm.
them, and for whatever reason, they definitely want to believe it because, I mean, it comes down to you're not happy about different things that's going on, not only in the country but maybe with the government, blah blah blah, and for some reason, well, the rhetoric that has been pushed throughout Trump's term has
Mm-hmm.
always been very um, black and white, good versus
Mm-hmm.
evil,
Mm-hmm.
where it's always been Republicans are the good, Democrats or anyone who's like that or not Republican are automatically evil. And kind of crazy because there's no groups are like that. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Unless, yeah. So that's just when people definitely want to fit a different group and put them and make them bad. And
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, they get that way. But I kind of just feel like Trump's rhetoric throughout his whole term, he was pushing a lot of things, and he always would say the Democrats are bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to
Mm-hmm.
try to do this, and then the idea when with his insurrection was, you got to go to the Capitol because they're trying to take your country away.
Right.
I'm sorry, from who? What?
Right.
Like,
Right. What are you talking about? Have you seen the latest videos they have out where you can hear what the crowd is saying as Trump and other speakers are saying what they're saying? So they're literally
oh,
on CNN. You
yeah.
you you literally are watching in real time how he incited this event as he's saying what he's
Oh,
saying. You
mm-hmm.
can hear them responding and going, yeah, let's take the Capitol. And it's crazy, man.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to add that I just read in this on Daily Mail. Not something I
Mm-hmm.
normally look at, but it this guy goes, Trump's words inspired me to storm the Capitol, and I was brainwashed. Dustin Brian Thompson, 36, from Columbus,
Mm-hmm.
went to the U.S. District Courthouse in Ohio, and when he was there, he was released on his own recognizance.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, "How else do you explain otherwise? How else do you explain otherwise rational, law-abiding citizens traveling to D.C. and doing what they did?"
Mm-hmm.
He's put all the blame. Him and his lawyer, his defense is Trump inspired me to do this, and that's why I did it. So if you're gonna I guess in a way, if you're gonna take him down, then Trump needs to go down or
Oh,
something.
absolutely.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
Trump definitely needs to
it's
pay,
interesting.
man. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit back and watch the movie play out, and see how
Because this
they
is a movie.
yes, and see how they handle Trump. Like I said at the top of the show, guys, if you get fired from Best Buy and steal a TV on your way out, you still got to pay for stealing that TV, whether you work there or not.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
the
it's
one thing
plain as that simple.
yeah, the one thing I wanted to just kind of add and find that the differences between Black Lives Matter when they were
Mm-hmm.
in the Capitol and this one, like after, and they didn't storm any place, but there were over 10,000 arrests,
Mm-hmm.
and so far there's only 400,000. I mean, sorry, there was almost 10,000 arrests for that, but so far there's only 400,000 for all the people that stormed that Capitol. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not 400, just 400 people. Sorry, I keep for whatever reason saying 1,000, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
400,000,
Mm-hmm.
400.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like anyway, it's like you said, we'll sit back and watch the movie to finish out. So
Yeah. Yeah, we will. All right, guys. If you have any other additional information, please comment, put it down in the description below. Again, I'll put the Wall Street Journal link in the description. And again, just another one of those shows we just shed light on one of the things that we've been hearing about for the past couple of years. This whole Q and QAnon conspiracy theory group crap. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
once again, thanks for checking in. Thanks for listening to where you get your podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on ICT Group Digital on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Smith, thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week. And stay away from everything Q. That's what I'm going to end the show by saying. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from everything Q.
Everyone be safe.
And everybody be safe. Exactly. All right, man. I'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. Peace.